Pappy out, let's talk it out. What's it like? What's life all about? Oh, Pappy out, say your piece. Laugh at yourself, slap your knee. Pull up a chair, it's time.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pappy Hour. This is Eric.
This is Lucas, and today we have Steve Long, a pretty good buddy of ours who we've been doing some sketch comedy with for the last couple years. He is one of the owners and proprietors of Louisville Underground and Tilt Pinball in Louisville.
And Steve gave us a lot of his history. Like myself, we both have older children, and he gave us some really good insight of what that is like to have older kids, but also got real personal and expressed what it was like to lose a spouse and to parent single.
Yeah, he really opened up today, and I really am excited for you guys to hear this story, and I guess we should just stop talking and let him hear it, right, Eric?
Then you know what?
Let's
do it. Check the levels on Steve's mic.
We'll check the waveforms here.
I'm about 6, I think. Yeah. A Wang's distance.
A Wang's distance?
What do you need a Wang's distance?
You want to keep the Wang's distance away.
Not all Wangs are the same.
Not all Wangs.
I was going to say. You mean, okay, let's step that one back, please.
That's too close.
Too close. Could you take that off of me, please?
Please, somebody cut his mic off. Oh, man. Steve. So, I mean, come on. I don't think we've done so much comedy together.
Right.
And we've been to your house. We've met your wife. But we don't really talk a lot about fatherhood. And you have kids. You have, how many kids
Absolutely. So I've got 2 of my own and 2 of Lynn's, my wife's. And so we have got 2 31-year-olds and 2 28-year-olds.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Lynn and I met from the younger 2 being friends. And so we had, the exact same grades, 2 in probably middle school and 2 in elementary school.
Wow.
And that's been a great journey and an interesting one as well.
I bet.
Sure.
I bet. So you had a kid. You said you had 2 kids before?
Right. So, not to bring the podcast down, I had two children, Jack and Aubrey.
And how old were you when they were born?
I was about 28 when my daughter Aubrey was born, and about 30. So I was fairly late on.
Okay.
So late bloomer. I was.
Oh, come on! I was 40 before I had a kid.
Well,
so
that's true. I guess
you're making me feel really old.
Didn't know who I was talking to. But
I do. I think I know where you're going with this, but
yeah.
before we get there, I want to ask you where we start off a lot of times is like, what was, if you can remember, now this might have been a few years ago, but what was life like before? Like, who were you before you became a dad?
So I'd given some thought to that. I was somewhat of a hard charger. I think I thought I had life by the tail.
Yeah.
I had started a engineering consulting business, and that was going really well. So I guess I was probably a little inflated ego of myself, and a lot of that was hard work, but a lot of it blind luck as well. But was kind of used to things going my way.
Sure.
And then you realize when you're trying to get socks on a 2-year-old that you really aren't.
You don't know shit once
you really aren't in control after all.
So funny.
That were some hard lessons there that you're really not in control after all.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you get back into control? All of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, business or life was easy. Now all of a sudden I've got this squirming thing that I'm having to put socks on, and it's running away from me or kicking me or whatever. Yeah.
And I don't know that I ever regained control.
Right.
To be honest,
That's true.
I always found. When my first child was born, not only we didn't have any kids in the family, but I don't think I'd ever held a baby.
Oh,
so
man.
I
This is
was
new territory.
completely incompetent, and I remember feeling kind of it sunk in, hey, you're a dad, when kind of all the in-laws and all the help went home, and it's just me and my wife and this tiny baby here.
Yeah.
That kind of sunk in. But
Yeah.
you know, you learn to change diapers, you learn
Right.
to do all those things,
Right.
and you know, I'd like to say I was a great dad. I do have to admit, though, I would be like. Anytime we would have a wet diaper, I'd be on it. You know, let me change that. Let me change that. Let
Sure,
me change that.
I'll do that one.
And then when it came time to a really nasty one, I changed the last 8.
Yes,
I
totally.
think it's your turn, hon. So
Very convenient timing.
exactly.
Did she ever pick up on the pattern?
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. But yeah, to be honest, I was completely incompetent in the first, and
Yeah.
you know, like everybody, you learn by trial and error a little bit.
Just
and,
doing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So
That's great.
what was it like? You were this guy. You spoke to it a little bit, but like I don't want to like skip over kind of that moment where you first became a father. Were you in the delivery room? I mean, what was it like back then? Was it an expected like
Did everything
situation? Everything go
Yep,
okay?
everything went with both fine with both. First child, Aubrey, took a long time coming out, so she was induced, and we were in just forever. I think we were in the hospital like 20 hours before
Wow.
she finally was born, and that was a
Damn.
long kind
Yeah.
of painful for my wife Jen at the time. A lot more for her than for me.
Yeah,
but
right.
It was
Sure.
a long, exhausting day. And then the second child, I'll tell you a quick, funny story. The second child, Jack, he was born in Napa, and I was expecting the same kind of a protracted thing.
Right.
So we went to the hospital in the morning, and the doctor said, false contractions, go home. Come back a little later.
Yeah.
So we're sitting at home biding our time, and the wife says, "Hey, I think it's time. We need to go."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No. Let's watch the end of Jeopardy here.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
you did not.
Then we'll go." So by the time we get to the hospital, it's too late for the epidural. The doctor who delivered the baby was next door to the hospital in the drive-through line at McDonald's and had to
Oh my
jump
gosh.
the curb to get over, and I mean, he popped out like that.
Wow.
Come on.
So yeah.
How long did it take for you to live that down?
Yeah.
Long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Dad of the
Dad of
year
the
just
year
went
already.
out the window.
Exactly.
You just lost it on the first day, man.
Yeah, but I
You're
was,
out.
in my defense, expecting that same protracted, and I did get to see Final Jeopardy.
And
so
you
Good
did.
for you.
What
Yeah,
was the
it was
answer?
worth
it was
it.
all things good. I don't remember.
Oh, come on. That would have been the saving grace, you know.
Oh, my gosh.
That is so
That's hilarious. I mean, listen, that's what it's all about, like being able to laugh
Right.
at our mistakes because they're going to happen, and we
Yeah.
got to learn from them and kind of move forward. They make us who we are.
And you do, and it also makes your kids who they are as well.
Exactly.
And there's something to be said for a little adversity through life. I mean, my kids, nobody in the family is a giant athlete, but they played sports, and
Yeah.
they were on some great teams, and then they were on teams that hardly won a game all season. And lessons in both of those for
Sure.
them and you as a parent, sitting on the sideline or coaching, and
Yeah.
trying to learn little adversity is a good thing. You don't want them to win everything,
Right.
and you
Yeah.
want them to come out successful, but adversity's part of how they come out successful.
Like building that mental toughness so
Yeah.
they can in a space where it's safe. And I've been reading some stuff about. I wasn't a big sports person, but from what you're saying and what I've heard is like that's kind of the area where they can build those things in a safe place. Because when they get out there on their own, it's less of a safe space, and you want them to learn those things at a young age.
Yeah, sure, that's true, and it's important, I think, as a parent to allow that to be a safe space. I don't know whether you've been to sporting events for the kids, but there's always that dad that's there.
Yeah.
And
I've had to coach that kid whose dad was
Yeah.
coaching from the other side,
And,
going, "No,
they're
stop it."
always neurotic, and
Yes.
so I think that's important too.
Yeah.
Just let them fail some, let
Right.
them, win some,
And they'll
life
go
is
off
in the
of
balance.
Yeah, they go off of you too. There's going, okay, how did Dad respond to this? He seems okay, and yes, you win some, you lose some. I don't have to take it totally seriously, and you would love for them to have a lot of victories, but really it is how did you feel like you did yourself today? How did you feel like you helped the team and giving those growth opportunities for them?
Absolutely. My son Jack pitched when he was in Little League, and he could throw the ball really hard, but not really accurately. And he was as likely to beat a kid
Yes, I was going to say.
as he was to throw a
throw a
strike.
strike.
And
Oh, my
so I think he was more feared from I'm going to get hit than
Totally.
anything else.
He made the all-star team
in
because
the
nobody
end-
would swing the bat.
Yeah, in the end, I mean, he's not playing professional baseball,
Right.
and so it was, all good lessons.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So your kids are grown now, and you and your wife now have a set of 4 kids.
So right, two stepsons that are in Denver and Boulder,
Okay.
and then my oldest is in Indianapolis, and she works for the hospital there doing counseling. And then son is in Brooklyn, and he is like a tour booking agent for bands, and
Oh, wow.
just
Fantastic.
is a perfect Brooklyn hipster.
Yeah, all right.
But they're doing well, and Lynn's two. One of them is an engineer, and he and I have a lot of the same personality we've found.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then the other, Tyler, is a business analyst and kind of a life of the party kid. That
Great.
they're fun to be around too.
Now, when
Cool.
did you say you met them? When your kids were little, right?
No, that was again, not to bring the podcast down, but I lost my first wife. She was 42, rail thin, ate well, and died of colon cancer. And then knew my second wife, Lynn, from church, and the 2 younger boys were friends, and that's how we kind of
Gotcha.
met.
That's
And
great.
So,
So
yeah,
you
that
came
was-
into their lives at a time when things were pretty tough for you, things were pretty heavy for you, and then what was it like? Maybe you could speak to some of the stepdads out there that, like, I grew up in a blended family, and my dad had 3 kids from one woman, and my mom had a couple of kids, and then we blended, but we never talked about, like, if you're my brother, you're my brother. It's not about half brothers.
Yeah.
My dad, if he's like, if you're my son, you're my son. Like, what was it like for you stepping
and I
into
think
that role?
coming out the end, I'll start at the end and work backwards. But I think all 4 of our kids have that kind of a bond. I'd like to think they do.
Yeah.
And we kind of knew they were gelling together. This is when they're all in high school, when
Yeah.
they kind of formed a band, to rail against the man.
Yes.
And
Wait, like a rock band or like
no, like
No, just
a band of
gang
brothers.
Oh,
if you
okay.
will.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they were all united front against the parents. And
Yes.
wow.
So I felt like from there you could tell. But in the beginning, it was not easy. And I think we were a little Pollyanna-ish coming in, thinking, no, this is going to work out.
Right.
And the reality was that first year was really tough.
Yeah.
And I must say, being a stepdad is one thing, being a stepmom is another. And we aren't doing the mom show here, but
No, but it's interesting that you bring that perspective. So,
Yeah.
and you can only bring your observation of what you think that was, but like, I love that you're aware of that. So, what do you think
Yeah.
the struggle like versus being a stepdad, stepmom?
Yeah, I mean, my Tyler and Wade, my stepsons, were always gracious to me, and I didn't try to be. They were already, middle school, high
Right.
school. Didn't try to replace their dad.
Sure.
And we always got along great. My kids had had a little more trauma and were much more
Sure.
resistant.
Sure.
When my wife died, my daughter kind of thought she ought to take over that mom role, and then somebody else comes. So it was rough for me. It was way rougher, for Lynn. And there was a lot of frayed edges that first year. And if we hadn't been married, I honestly probably we wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
I hate to say, but the fear of the paperwork to go out and get
Sure.
a divorce
Right.
was some days what kind of kept us together.
Sure.
And,
So funny.
and
yes.
if anybody out there is kind of going through that, I feel like that was about a year of really hard times, and you've got two different parenting styles, and different kids, and you're trying to learn
Right.
their personalities and how to work with them, and how to make your own kids feel like they're heard and they haven't been left by the wayside.
Right.
But yeah, that was probably a tough year, and then kind of coming out of that. Also, the kids were in middle school, a couple of them at the time, and that's a really tough time for them.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. You've got
been
puberty,
through it.
you've got all that
yeah,
brain
and,
development going
yeah,
on.
Sure enough.
Pressures, social aspects. Yeah, it's heavy.
But yeah, you kind of come out the other side, and everybody kind of figures their place out, and after then it's
Yeah.
smoothed out, and we love to get together now.
That's
We're
great.
a pretty rowdy family, quite honestly, and welcomed a daughter-in-law into the family. Lynn's oldest got married about a year ago, and
Nice.
I think she was a little shell shocked coming into it. 'Cause, everybody likes to play games when we, kids all come home for
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
We're up playing games till 2 a.m.
Yes.
Nice.
And, it gets rowdy and loud, and
That's
so
so funny.
it's been a wild journey, and you come through a place of sorrow, and you come out the other side.
Yeah,
And,
you stick together and you
yeah.
just keep
Yeah.
showing up
And
every day.
if you don't mind, you said you were fairly comfortable talking about this. I have several friends, sadly, that have lost a spouse as well.
Yeah.
And have kids. They probably could echo a lot of the same that you experienced, but what you got, I mean, this is a huge loss for everybody. Where are you going? I mean, what is it that you basically, how did you, deal with all of this?
Yeah, I gotta honestly say that I think I made a large mistake kind of coming out of that, in that my first wife was sick for about 3 years. And kind of when she passed, I just felt like, hey, it's just me and these two kids.
Right.
I got to get my stuff together here, and make sure they feel safe. They've got what they need. So largely, I kind of compartmentalized that grief, and soldiered on without them seeing a lot of that. And I would go out at nighttime on my run and cry the whole time.
Yeah.
And then come back and, hey, let's get your homework done. And I think, to be honest, them not seeing that grief, they kind of thought, hey, grief is something to be pushed down, and not something that you go through. So
Interesting.
my daughter, we've had long talks about this since, and I would have better served them had I just let them kind of see me grieve. And
Sure.
but you feel like, hey, you got to pull it together.
Yeah.
And I was a really good second parent.
Got you.
But when you come to be the first parent, and you're
Yeah.
the only line of defense there, and it's not you coming home to them and they're happy to see you at the end of the day, kind of a situation. A whole new respect for moms or dads that are doing that,
Right.
kind of as the primary parent. It's a different role, and it's a tougher role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for expressing that, because I do think that is really a huge thing that can be shared with folks. And it can't be easy.
Sharing the fact that being vulnerable in front of your kids is maybe a better road to go. I mean, honestly, we're all just trying to figure it out as we go along. We won't really know how we,
Sure enough,
what
yeah,
the
right.
true,
Yeah.
what the right thing to do was until it's all over with.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's a lot of dads' experiences, and I think that, and sounds like it was very similar when you were growing up. As to my dad, felt the same way. Was like, now that he's in his 60s and sick, we have these conversations, and he was like, yeah, there were a lot of times where I didn't know what I was doing, and I was frustrated, and he can kind of speak to that a little bit now. but then, yeah, that showed me that I should just like not deal with those feelings. And so like that's what I'm trying to like learn now as, you know, a dad to this little kid, is like how to protect her from the extremes of my emotions, but not hide them from her.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That is a good middle ground, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my dad was much the same way. You know, I knew he loved me, but just he was a provider probably
Right.
more than an emotional support. That
Yeah.
was always my mom.
Right.
So you kind of learn those traits, and
Yeah.
you try to do a little better. And
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't say I'm perfect in that realm, but you
Yeah,
know,
but
probably a little bit more emotionally available than my dad. And I
Yeah.
suspect when my kids have kids, they'll take that a little further.
Yeah.
That was the thing that we had focused about. I think, you know, we grew up similar times, and I think dad's roles were set.
Yeah,
Like I talked to
and-
my own father recently, and that was it. He just goes, well, I was the provider, and your mom took care of you.
Yeah.
That was just it.
Yeah.
So you never felt that love. But I do remember the times I spent with my dad were really great times, but they were so far and few.
Yeah,
And
exactly,
So, and
yeah.
I just remember being conscious when I was directing a day treatment school. I was like, I'm exhausted when I get home. I have no energy for these kids. And that's when I left anything from administrative state to go, I want to be a part of these kids' lives. And it's helped me tremendously become, I think, a better dad. But the kids knew that I was present.
Yeah,
And that was really helpful.
Yeah, credit to my dad too. That you
Yeah.
know, he worked probably 12 hours on his
Yeah.
feet all day,
You got
but we played catch when he got home, and
Right.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are bonus things.
But you're right. When moms were home, kind of more full time, and
Yeah.
roles were a little different.
Yeah.
Dad's roles were different too.
Yeah.
You didn't argue with dad, but you sure challenged mom on occasion.
Oh my gosh,
you just
absolutely
trust mom
not.
because
There
you know
wasn't
she
a-
loves you.
Yeah.
It's insane because I feel like my mother's like was really angry a lot. So like I would have probably been way smarter to be more afraid of her. But definitely like dad, like as soon as I heard his truck tires hit
Yeah.
the gravel road, it was like
Yeah. Time to straighten up.
time to straighten up.
Buck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So it's been a long time. Your kids are grown up and they're out of the
Yeah.
house. Like, what could you share with the dads out there that are just getting into this thing? Like, maybe some tidbits of wisdom that you would share with them.
Sure. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, and this may be more to my personality trait, but I'm an engineer,
Yeah.
and engineers solve problems.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's kind of my first instinct is to solve the kids' problems. And
For them.
you can't do that. That doesn't build resilience.
not.
And now I'd like to say my kids are adult. They've got good problem-solving skills. But my daughter will still call me from time to time. And, you know, whatever the problem is, I'm like, well, here's what I would do. And
Yeah.
she's like, no, Dad, I don't want you to solve my problem. I
Right.
just want to vent. I want you to listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's a hard lesson. And it's really hard in the moment, you know, when your kid comes home with some kind of issue, somebody's bullying them, you know, whatever the issue, they're excluded, you know, whatever. And that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Particularly as they get older, you know, first you might start out as a coach and then, you know, here are some options for you and you pick.
Yeah.
But the last thing you want to do is to kind of solve it for them, and
Yeah.
then they don't have that coping skills
Right.
as an adult. And I'm still kind of learning that, and it's still my first instinct,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I try to kind of quash that and
Yeah.
just listen and be present is really what they need at this juncture.
Yeah. What have you learned about being more present with your kids as you've gotten older?
That I've kind of gotta separate work entirely, and you know, I've got to completely disengage. You know, it's not enough to be in the same room and working on your computer
You're
or
absolutely right. Yeah.
trying to, you know, multitask and
Yeah.
but to, you know, the little time I get with them, I really want to spend it you know, being together and, you know,
So yeah.
yeah.
And I think that's great too, because now your kids are living on their own. What was that like initially when all of a sudden Aubrey's either off to school or not living in your house? Was it some celebration, and was there anything mixed? Kids grow up and we want them to be self-sufficient, and here they go.
You do, and I can tell you, particularly with her, she went to school at University of Alabama, and then my son went to Loyola, New Orleans. But with her, I was completely unprepared for the emotional kind of roller coaster that puts you on. Excited for this is going to be great, and I drop her, off at the dorm. We get the dorm room set up, and it's time for me to leave.
Yeah,
haven't cried, haven't kind of let it out.
Yeah.
And then I had to drive from Tuscaloosa back to Atlanta to catch a flight, and just bawled the whole whole way. And then for the next several weeks, it just felt like a part of you was missing. So it was tough. It was,
so what can I do before Stella's going to college?
Right? Yeah.
To what should I try to get in before she goes, and how can I prepare myself for this?
Yeah. Tell her to go to CU.
Totally.
Not
Sorry,
so far
honey.
away.
Sorry, honey. You have to go down the street.
This is broadcast live from Colorado.
But just kind of be prepared that it's a range of emotions, and you're right.
Yeah.
You're proud of them. You want them to be able to kind of go and live their life. And,
right.
But I did find also though that once I knew she was there and was settled and had made some friends, and hey, this is all going to be all right for her. Then it got better, and a few weeks later you go back for Parents' Day, and they're showing you around, excited to show you the campus, and from there I think it was more excitement for her and to see where she was going.
Totally.
And then you get it again on the other end. The first summer they come home from college, they've got now these expectations that, I'm used to staying up till 3 a.m. And
so how do you cope with that? Do you just let it happen, or?
They're adults at this point.
Right.
And, the main thing is don't wake me up when you come home.
Right.
We've got a little
Not
dog.
anymore. But trust me, at 13, tell me, wake me up.
Please,
But the little dog goes off on alarm.
Yes.
Of course.
Alarm mode at 3 a.m. and it's
so
them
funny.
coming in. They aren't doing anything, wrong, or maybe they're just up watching TV downstairs.
Yeah.
But that's hard to make that transition, because now they are, mostly fully formed adults and used to having their own pattern and, being out as late as they want. And
is it hard letting go and just trusting them to do the right thing, or do you feel like they got it?
Mine, I felt all four of them kind of, by the time they got to that stage when we were letting go, you've done all you can.
Yeah.
You've either screwed them up hopelessly or, like I said, they've got some problem-solving skills and they're going to figure it out. But I felt really confident with all four of ours that, these guys are going to launch. And knock on wood, all four of them are gainfully employed and nobody's living in the basement. And so
good for you, man.
But kids bloom at different ages too, and sometimes that rolls around and they just aren't ready. I mean, I know
for sure
at 18, if I were exposed to today's environment in college and how hard it is to get in, and all the stresses and all of that, it probably wouldn't have turned out as well for me as things were just easier.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, you are someone who I think of when I think about a funny person, and that's because I know you. When I first met you, you're like a sleeper comedian.
Yes, for sure.
So I'm going to ask you this question that I've been asking all the dads. Do you have a back pocket dad joke that you just pull out?
I'm not sure I can say that on
Don't worry,
podcast.
we've already. Is it just that it's dirty? Is that what it is?
Just that
It's pretty dirty. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, people.
All right,
it was a dirty dad joke.
dirty
Yeah, cover your. This was my dad's actually. This is my dad's jokes.
This is not about shame or guilt. We're just about being. This is fine.
Just
no,
a joke.
no judgment.
Yeah. Two old guys walking down the road. And off to the side of the road, they see an old hound dog licking his balls. And the one man says to the other, you know, I sure wish I could do that. And the other guy says, that dog would bite you. So that's my dad joke. Yeah.
Yes.
We took this from a G-rated podcast
You
to
got it.
PG-13.
No,
Yeah.
That was
But that was
beautiful.
one of my dad's favorites.
we're trying to
and
take
I
it to
love
the
too.
real places
Yeah.
the dads want to go.
Yeah. Because I think as dads of older kids, we are more crass now. We're not innocent. We've seen all of it.
You can be
When we see it.
respectful and be crass.
Yes.
Here's the thing: is like I don't want to.
We know how to keep a job still.
I still have dirty thoughts, okay? But I'm also like a very kind, understanding,
Yes.
respectable human being. But I'm not going to deny those other parts of me.
Right.
I might question them from time to time, but that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. You've got a few years of watching Dora the Explorer.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Baby Shark before.
Totally.
You only get one spin around this rock. You only have so many days until it stops. And how you show up for your kids, well, that's your superpower. You might not know it now, but this is your Pappy Hour. Pappy Hour, let's talk it out. Talk it out. What's it like? What's life all about? Oh, Pappy Hour, say your piece. Laugh at yourself, slap your knee.